Welcome to the weekend. Give yourself a pat. You made it. Now that means you're stuck with me on the locks. That's really what this means. That's why you should be congratulating yourself, knowing what it is ahead. Whatever your vice of choice is, whatever you like to drink, smoke, sniff, anything in between, God bless. It's what you're going to need to deal with me. I'm sorry, I got you on the weekend. Lindy's got you on the week, but here's the beauty of it. There is a link below where you can get both of us 24/7, right? You have to be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800. There's a gambler. There's a link below to sign up at BetMGM, and we're going to give you 2 free months of our Discord. That's where Lindy is. That's where I am. Ben, Isaiah, we'd love to have you. That's why I let you know about this stuff ahead of time. That's all. That's all. Let's get on over to BetMGM. We're going to run through everything, leans and locks, and now it's turned into basically lock. One play, one lock. We start with Arizona. Now, Diamondbacks here, especially on the road in Detroit, you try to look for any type of value for the home team getting points. It's just not going to happen. Detroit, we're simply just betting that there's no super stretch here. Could look at Nelson versus Boyd. Boyd at home. Is there anything there? Not really. Not really. Walking some guys, the Ks are kind of there. There's nothing really that jumps out with either one of these pitchers. The edge here is simply the better team, the division-leading team versus Detroit. Detroit's down at the dumps. They suck. They're just not a good baseball team, right? So we're taking Arizona on the money line, and it's Saturday, not Sunday, to close this thing out. So a little different as far as the approach is here. It's not like we do have to deal with lineups and things adjusting in that regard. Let's move on. Next up, Miami at Chicago. White Sox. All right. This one, and again, I think we're looking at a play here where we're always trying to find value for the dog, especially if that dog's at home. Kopech. I don't know where that accent came from initially, but that's how he's always referred to here on out. You're fine. You can strike guys out and you can limit contact. The problem is when you yourself get into trouble, the 11.1 walk rate. So there are some pathways there clearly to get to the home team. But Alcantara really just hasn't been what we've expected coming into the year. Now we know every week or every 5 days or so what he's going to bring. The K rate has dipped significantly. Even the contact stuff is kind of like, You're getting Chicago with a pitcher who in certain areas from contact to striking out is better than the visitor. And that alone is worth a look here without a doubt. And that's why we'll take them at home. Chicago, the White Sox at home at plus money. All right. Cincinnati, St. Louis. What can we get here? Oh, man. The Reds, you've got Abbott. Michaelis at home. Let's look at Michaelis first at home before we start anything with Andrew Abbott, who just simply hasn't been stretched out yet. The ability to get, Cincinnati should not have much trouble creating some scoring chances. So long as Michaelis is throwing strikes, there will be hitting chances for Cincinnati. Probably not going to have to draw many walks out because they'll already be on the bag. I doubt this is going to be a scenario here where Michaelis strikes out, 10 guys en route to a scoreless 6. Cincinnati has Abbott. He just hasn't been stretched out enough. We haven't seen yet enough. I know that De La Cruz has been a major storyline here. We'll see if he can continue, but the reality, too, is that there's a sense of newness for Cincinnati, and I think we can play off of that, especially because the pitching matchup here, even though it's young and new, favors Abbott, or at the very least, it's a wash. Cincinnati at plus 140. There's the value, folks. There's the value right there. Let's keep it moving. San Diego at Colorado. Now, at home, what can be done in this baseball game with Kyle Freeland on the hill? San Diego with Ryan Weathers, nearly a 1-to-1, 15-10 K to walk ratio. In Colorado, Ryan Weathers could get knocked around. The Rockies have a guy, look, you have to keep people off the bag. You're not going to strike a lot of people out. You're not going to take a lot of chances. This probably sits around 12, maybe 13 runs. But I think the bigger value here is just taking Colorado, knowing that you can chase this guy in Ryan Weathers. The Rockies are relying on home field, at least, maybe not an advantage in the sense of just ultimately winning the game, but keeping in this game. There's zero reason, even if it's last licks down a run through coming back and winning this, that run, getting the run and a half here to break that one-run deficit, that's everything in this play for me. Because you can get to Ryan Weathers and establish a lead, and then at some point you're probably going to blow it, but at least you have a cushion, and then on the other side of that, you have that 1.5. So run line, not always our favorite, but in this case, I think it makes sense. What makes sense here? Under 9. Under 9 in Philadelphia. You have Aaron Nola really with the chance here to spike back, acknowledge the haters. I know there's a pitch clock scheme. There's a pitch clock theory. There's all the bullshit going on with the pitch clock. But what's going on here in Philadelphia is a must turnaround of a stretch. And the reason why they're in this position that they have to turn around in the first place, a big reason why has been disappointment with starting pitching surrounding Aaron Nola. More than Zach Wheeler, that's for sure. Ranger doing his thing, but that's inconsequential because we've got Nola on one side. Bobby Miller looking to continue deeper starts. We saw very little. We've seen very little, but so far so good. And there is a small hole of aggression that I think you can take advantage of. If you have the ability, we saw that at least with Miller striking people out, you can take advantage of some early aggression at the plate for the Phillies. That's going to lead to just less runs. Even if the Phillies win by 3, the Dodgers win by 3, what have you, I'm not worried about that so much as I'm just targeting the under here at 9. Feel really good about that. Again, these are plays. We've gone through them. We're locking, folks. We are locking. Pittsburgh hosting the Mets. You're going to need a pretty favorable matchup here. Oviedo, I mean, it's just, Johan is stuck with the task. Kodai Senga comes in with nastiness surrounding him. And I don't mean the fact it's just insanity. Keeping people away from the baseball has seemed to be something that Senga has done with a comfortable level of success. The one area, of course, that gets a little itchy is the walk rate. 14.3 is brutal. It's atrocious because when you miss with inverted fork balls, you wind up walking some dudes here or then. Can the Pittsburgh Pirates take advantage of some scoring opportunities, most likely coming from walk to hit? Yes. And at plus 115, that's the best value because Oviedo right now with the 19.5 to 11 K to walk percentage ratio is not doing it on his own. You're going to have to get aggressive. You're going to have to get up and you're going to have to try and chase Senga out a little earlier than normal. And that comes with drawing some walks and being patient. And really the value there is on the Pirates more so than anything else. We're not going to lay some juice with Senga on the road. A lot of variables. Braves hosting the Nationals. This one's big. 10 runs. I mean, you have to think right now that the pitching matchup would dictate a lot of what you're doing here in Atlanta with a total, of 10 runs. So let's look at this. How long do you anticipate Jared Schuster out there before things get crazy? And do you anticipate Washington being the reason why Jared Schuster gets chased? Like, just because Jared Schuster is atrocious, especially when it comes to not striking people out and not keeping people off the bag when it comes to walking, doesn't mean The Washington Nationals are handed hits and base runners. They're going to have to work for it. The K rates have kind of come back around a little bit, just a little bit. But I'm not worried about that so much as I am hitting for contact here. Now, Mackenzie Gore comes in and stands the best chance with a ridiculous 29% K rate throwing out. Walks are going to be there at the 10%, but you can battle out on that. And the best part about this is that Gore is limiting opposing batting average. He's limiting some contact, pitching to contact successfully. That's enough for us to go under 10 here. We don't need to make this so crazy. Same thing with the next one. Oakland comes in, just absolutely brutal, miserable team overall. And you're going to have Blackburn really charged with what? Slowing down this Milwaukee squad. Tehran still looking to get stretched, still looking to build on the fact that the K's just haven't been there, but Walks, he's avoiding some mistakes. Paul Blackburn, another guy in that similar category. I just don't think either one of these guys, you have both that are looking to expand on starts. Milwaukee can do a lot here. You get me 2 runs from Oakland, and we're over this total. 2 runs from Oakland, and we're over this thing. Don't worry, we're going to run through everything else. Just let me remind you here. BetMGM, what's happening? Look, there's a link below, okay? There's a link below. If you're new to what's happening here, you hear it from Lindquist, you hear it from Ben, you hear it from Isaiah. I'll tell you the same stuff. The Discord is amazing. We're smashing big tickets, but what I want to tell you more so than anything else is the community. And you out there, if you're watching and you're in the Discord, it's not me. It's not me doing anything. It's you. This is an ego-less. Everybody's helping each other. Everybody wants people to win. Hey, man, I haven't had it. We're struggling. Don't worry. We got you. We got you. That's the mentality every day. We want you a part of it. That's why there's a link below. Sign up at BetMGM. I'm giving you plays here on BetMGM. And your first 2 months are free on the Discord. Free. That means you can hang in. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like it, get the hell out. But you better say hi first. At least give me a chance. Lindquist is there. You like Eric. You like your Eric. Tampa Bay, it's split. It's a 50-50 shot, except the books are going to take the books going to rake. Books going to vig. We know that. Tampa, though, at home. Is there value in taking them in a coin flip at home against the Texas Rangers? Very, very overrated movie, by the way. Just brutal. It was in like this action Western scheme theme where everything tried to be like the next Young Guns. Taj Bradley versus Nathan Eovaldi. I do like Eovaldi. We like Eovaldi a lot. He's doing a lot of good things. But still, there's just no liability taken either way here. And it's essentially a coin flip because Bradley is on freaking fire. And Bradley's going to push through. Look, the Rangers are no joke. I understand that. I'm messing here with a good baseball team, but Bradley has been doing things that are outlandish in a good way. Good luck hitting Bradley. Good luck not striking out. I mean, Spencer Strider is looking at this being like, okay, not bad, kid, not bad. 5.5 walk rate. That ain't happening either. Now, I understand Eovaldi has been pitching exceptionally well, and he's got some really good red numbers behind him too, but this is at home, Tampa. I'm getting the edge, slight edge for the pitcher, slight edge for the team. It's a coin flip with the VIG. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Cleveland. I would look to shop this number because I'm pretty confident that you can get this number at 8.5. JP Franc in the house, on the road. And it's great when you're not walking people. Maybe that's when you look at like no run first inning type stuff. But if I'm looking at a body of work and I need a bank on you doing something, I need to make sure that it's beyond just a walk rate, that I can count on you. Tristan McKenzie working his way back. No problem, no concern. We anticipate we can get 5 innings, 5+ from McKenzie. That's fantastic. That leads us to an under 8. And back to JP From, we can, because look, the batting average, opposing batting average, pitching to contact, that's working. That's working. Limiting on base, that's working. A lot of that comes with limiting walks as a whole, but limiting from contact to walks on base, that should get him through. Cleveland is very patient. Cleveland is tough to strike out. France isn't relying on that. France is relying on other stuff, baiting and dancing and darting and doing some fun stuff that you've never seen before in your life. We move on. Have you hit the thumbs up? Have you subscribed? Do you know what's going on, too, by the way? We got some other stuff, some really crazy stuff here with the Odd Shopper Premium tool that I need to show you before we get out of here, because you won't believe it. You won't believe it. Couple left here. Boston, New York. Hey, the Yankees. I got news for you. I don't give a shit what happened on Friday night. It's out of my control. I'm not looking at that. What I do have is a pitching matchup here that features Domingo Germán, where without striking the world out, seems to be able to get through innings, seems to be able to push through. Don't touch the K prop. It's not worth it, but seems to magically, if you're watching, you're probably not too surprised. Not even eat, but just get through innings like it's nothing. Tanner Houck on the other side, just fine. Not great, not awful, just fine. Will probably hurt you more as often as he'll help you. Circumstantial, I think, here. We already know injury and whatnot with Judge. This is a good spot here for a guy like Houck. Under 8.5 for us. Last here on BetMGM for the late game. Let's have some fun. Let's just hope it's up there. So the play is NRFI. The play is no run first inning. It's not going to be up here on the leans and the locks ahead of time, so you're going to have to wait for that. But I would look at this and say that the two pitchers is always a target for us. Sandoval and Wu. Now, Brian Wu, you've got no reason to be concerned in small sample sizes. Patrick Sandoval, while you'd long for better numbers, we've seen him survive. And in this case, the visitor in Seattle, not the team that I think takes advantage of it with so high of a K rate. It's almost like this is a chess match to see if a bad K guy like Sandoval can get over on bad or just high K rate guys like Seattle, for example. So since we can't post the NRFI, let's go back to our final play of the night. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to lay the 1.5. Going to lay the 1.5 run line. Run line material, okay? Look, as I said, you want more, follow up on the Discord. BetMGM, sign up. You're not on there for whatever reason. That's a shame. On your way out, let me remind you, this is it. This is it. Sunday is the last day that you can take full advantage of your first week free on the Odd Shopper Premium tool. Sunday is it. That's all I'm saying. So please, please jump in now. There's a link below.